we can mock Tim Pool until the end of time, and we will. Trust me. That's a promise, a guarantee. I can tell all of you. Just strap on in. We're gonna have some fun. But it is undeniable, both the success and his popularity. He's probably one of the most dangerous online figures. Also because, like, he's a man-child.
It was infinitely better than the DNC, at least in terms of production quality. It actually felt kind of normal. And the Republicans did have some cringe.
Already so much bias. It's all awful. Come on, Tim. You have eyes. All of it's awful. Like, the DNC was woke, performative woke awful. The RNC is like Mussolini awful. But it's all awful. It's all terrible.
But the Democrats had way more cringy moments. And for the most part, we saw...
Well, there was some cringe, but then there was more cringe. So, I mean, who had more cringe? I'm a journalist. This is journalism you're watching.
Republicans get up, speak in an open room, and present their ideas to the public. But the big news right now that the right is cheering about, first night of GOP convention delivers nearly 6 times more views than start of Democrats event on C-SPAN live stream. That's right. The RNC pulled in 6 times the viewers on C-SPAN. But this isn't the full picture. According to Variety, Democrats actually got better ratings on their first night. Now, this could be explained in many ways. It could just be the overnight ratings for the RNC are a little low and they're skewing Democrat. It could actually be nobody likes the Republicans and people are all watching the Democrats. But I think there's a better way to explain this. I think Democrats are less likely to watch the RNC and Republicans are more likely to watch the DNC. And this goes...
I have a theory.
Along with the common saying that Democrats think Republicans are evil, Republicans think Democrats are misguided. Or another idea that we're seeing, that people on the left don't follow conservatives, but people on the right follow both conservatives and liberals. There's actually a chart that I show relatively often showing conservatives get about a third of their news from liberal sources. Moderates have an even mix, but liberals only get their news from liberal sources, which says to me the reason the DNC's viewership was higher is because Republicans were actually watching too. Now that may just be a bias, but I think this idea lends itself.
So I guess if you're a conservative, you get your news from a variety of sources. It's a moulin's bouche, you know. There's a whole bunch of different flavors in there. There's a Filipino dessert called halo halo, which literally translates to mix mix, and it's just a mix of a whole bunch of things: gummy bears, ice cream, chocolate, licorice, just like every candy and ice cream in one dish. That's kind of what it is if you're a conservative. It's a good life, a semi-charm kind of life.
I think Donald Trump is the...
Yeah, Fox and Friends. That's it, right? Because you get Fox, but you also get the Friends. So that's probably about 4 Friends and Fox. So 5 sources. You did the thing.
The internet's politician. Online, you have people seeking out news, trying to better understand things, and they come across Donald Trump. When Trump posts a meme, people understand it. Trump supporters understand it. Why? Because they're online engaging with the internet community. So these inside jokes play well among Trump's base.
Instead of citations, everybody, you get meme theory. We're getting Tim Pool's meme theory. So this is good.
If only people like Bill Maher actually looked into the news, watched the videos online to see what was actually happening. So let's do this. Let's break this down. Let's take a look at what's going on with the ratings, because I
can do completely unscientific studies that I make up on the fly myself as well, and this would be mine. I think the DNC is boring as shit, and no one wants to watch the performative wokeness of the whole thing, because that's all it is. It's just performative wokeness. It's empty platitudes. It's pointing out, yeah, there's problems. We're going to solve the problems. How? We don't know. but you have to vote for us, or you get the fascism. You don't want the fascism, so you got to vote for us. Meanwhile, everyone wants to watch the GOP convention because it's like, let's see the death sabers. Like, I want to see this. I want to see what they have to say. Will Pol Pot be animated from the grave? Will they rise? And will he, like, you know, a hologram Tupac do an entire speech at the RNC? Very plausible. It could happen. You never know what you're going to get.
I think what we're actually seeing, and I can probably provide a good reason to believe this. I think the Democrats, these voters, aren't paying attention to what's going on. And they're wrapped up in their own bubble where they think they're right. But come November, they will get a shock to their system. Those of us who have been paying attention have pretty much said no to the Democratic Party. But let's start with this story. Take a look at what happened with the Republicans' ratings and how the Democrats fared, and explain why this may be. But C-SPAN's live stream of the first night of the Republican National Convention has attracted nearly 440,000 views, marking a substantial increase over the start of the Democratic National Convention, which drew 76,000.
That's still, like, if nothing else, really sad for the amount of online interaction. I would assume it would be higher. Because, I mean, classical television still gets, like, 18 million?
Looking at the networks individually, ABC scored the largest total viewership, as it did for the live Trump support the left. Those that are online watching progressives favor the left. I mean, right now on social, I'm forcing conservatives.
So anyways, if you haven't gotten this already, Tim Pool is doing a deep dive into the analytics of the viewership, and what that is going to tell us about politics when filtered through his brain is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. The answer would be zero, like 0% of any information will be filtered through the beanie. You will get some beads of sweat, you know, maybe a pubis or two or three, who knows? You could get multiple pubis, but either way, we're now translating that into talking about how big tech is censoring conservatives. See, there's not going to be any real correlation, causation there. I mean, I don't know who's done a study like this, but you could look at viewership ratings in different conventions, how that plays out. If there's any kind of, does this tell us anything about the politics, the interest, the hate watching, viewing trends? Do we know anything about this? But no, we're going to use it to parlay again into the pubis.
Conservatives to move to the left. That's what's happening. It is true that big, you know, these big cable networks, even Fox News, were cutting away from RNC speeches. And many Trump supporters were upset about it, saying, I don't want to watch Hannity. I want to see what the RNC has to say. So if you go online, you will see unrestricted access. And it's no wonder then you see Joe Rogan as like the top podcast in the world. It's no wonder. I mean, I'm stoked on this. And I'm basically, as I'm recording this, on the verge of breaking 1 million subscribers. And this is true for many progressives as well. Individual choice is starting to take over, and the age of these big narrative controlling mainstream media corporations, they're dying out. Now, it's fair to say, in light of what Robbie is saying, bubble in the Beltway in DC is smaller than it was in 2016.
Of course he would pull up Seth MacFarlane's tweets. Like, I love Family Guy. I'm a big Family Guy fan. Loved it for years, but he has taken a definite turn to the woke. He is now wokeified, and yet you hate to see it, folks.
Beth tweeted, my grandfather was a Republican. We disagreed on a lot, but we both respected the truth and each other. This is not his party. There was no screamed rhetoric until the GOP finds itself again. I implore honorable conservatives to preserve the future by voting. Nah, I'm not seeing it, Seth. Not at all. I'm not a conservative. I'm actually going the other direction. I'm getting away from the Democrats. You know why? I'm paying attention, and
I'm not a conservative. I'm running away from the Democratic Party because I'm not a conservative. That's what's happening. And you know what? This is also, it's kind of cute because, you know, this is him like at home in his kitchen. He thinks he talks to people like Seth MacFarlane. Like, he has conversation. Like, he's got dolls, like dolls of all his heroes. You know, Stan Lee is there, of course. Stan Lee is there, and Seth MacFarlane's there as well, and he's sitting there with all of them. He's like, oh, hey friends. So what do you think about the liberal woke media and the upcoming race war, my friends? But this way he gets to live it out. You know, he doesn't have to just LARP. He can actually pretend that he's having a direct conversation with Seth. Well, I don't see it, Seth. Yeah, sorry. No, I don't see it.
Watching these videos from around the country, and my heart is being squeezed when I see these videos, not just in the sense that I am brought to deep emotions watching a man near tears because his family business was destroyed by lunatics, but it's being squeezed by the likes of you, these mindless leftist, liberal whatevers who aren't paying attention, but would tell others what to do. I don't blame Seth.
I love how they get so up in arms about the individual stories. Like, it's like, well, this one child was murdered by what we believe was a gang member. He was a white child. So this story is the only story I will talk about until there's a new one. And then, oh, well, there was this business destroyed by rioters. Yep. Then they destroyed the small business. And that's all that matters. I don't want to talk about the overwhelming amount of systemic poverty, racism that's happening, historical racism, all this kind of stuff. I mean, that's affecting millions and millions of people. I want the one story, the anecdote. I want the one anecdote, and then I'm really going to get outraged by it.
Through people choosing to watch my content, I've been able to succeed. These big media companies, I've worked for them. You know what they do? If you don't play ball, they don't put you on TV. If you don't play ball, they don't give you the platform. They have the platform. If you want to stand on the stage, money. You mean to tell me that Chris...
I mean, we can mock Tim Pool until the end of time, and we will. Trust me. That's a promise. A guarantee. I can tell all of you. Just strap on in. We're gonna have some fun. But it is undeniable, both the success and his popularity. He's probably one of the most dangerous online figures. Also because, like, he's a man-child. Like, if ever there was a child in a man's body, it's Tim Pool. He never progressed past like a high school mentality about anything, and so everything is just like skateboarding and poggers and Marvel movies and race wars. That's all he thinks in. So it's really dangerous. It should be more frightening than it is funny, but it is also funny.
Cuomo says Democrats don't lie like Trump does, so we didn't even bother testing, setting up,
did break up with
preparing for a fact check. Think about it. But you mean to tell me, with videos like this, Black Lives Matter mob forces DC restaurant patrons to raise fist in Black Power salute, and those that don't get harassed, berated, and screamed at, insulted? You mean to tell me that all of this stuff going on, and people are going to vote for Joe Biden?
Yeah, I can speak about this very quickly. Okay, so here it is. So this is the scene making the rounds, and I agree. If this turns out to be a bunch of, quote, progressives, this is a horrible look. Don't harass people eating in restaurants in mobs, demanding that they scream platitudes, otherwise they're racists. That does not further the left. That gives people like Tim Pool ammunition to make 50 videos on this. There's going to be a lot of Tim Pool videos about this now. So that was a gift. There's going to be a whole bunch. Like, Actual Justice Warrior is probably already like, we told you, this is the liberal mobs coming to take away your rights. Look at what they're doing. It was unusual to me, though, and I'm gonna, you taught me well, Daddy. All right, I'm gonna do you proud. Don't worry, I got a good one. Okay, I got the tinfoil up back, and no, we're gonna do good here. Yeah, just wait a second here. It is unusual that there's one of them is wearing a MAGA hat. That was pretty weird. The other weird thing is that they all demanded asked whether or not she was a Christian. And I don't know a lot of Black Lives Matter protesters that are doing that are demanding to know whether or not you're a Christian and wear MAGA hats. But anyways, that's just one man's opinion. Oh yeah, and no one's defending this. Oh, it's a spoof. All right. Yeah, I don't think anyone on the left is defending this. It's terrible. It's a gift to your enemies. Stop doing that. Yeah. It's no bueno. It's no bueno.
To our God, I'm Ra. We pray at your altar of awesomeness. To our monarch, Thomas Bone, you are the light that guides our path. To our lords, Jeffrey Lamb, Steven, Ninetails Cosmic Fox, Hans Josephine, and Poppy Nelson, we bow meekly for your pleasure. To our Knights of the Round Table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Bite, Alexander Thaler, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Clement Chutzkoff, Godbear Games, Moss Beast, Political Puppy, Ali Menthol, Jimmy Big Nuts, Alan R., Andres Chitoro, good Poon hates cops, that's solid Poon then. And Bryn, we salute you. And to our many merchants and farmers, you have our undying love.